Being a founder is lonely, and sometimes we just want to talk to somebody. That's why I got into coaching. Is I love helping other founders kind of get through their day and grow their business and be more successful. But sometimes you need to talk right then, right there. You need an answer to a question that your coach can help you with, but maybe you don't have a coaching call for another couple of days or a week. And that's why I've built a chat bot where I can talk to the person who is my coach anytime I want from all of the information that they've published online. Welcome to day 7 of 100 Days of AI. I'm Craig Hewitt, and today we're going to talk with Taki. Taki Moore is a coach of coaches, and if you haven't followed his stuff and you're into coaching at all, I highly recommend you check him out. Read his book, $1 Million Coach. It literally changed my life, and is the reason that I'm really interested in coaching and want to make it a big part of my life going forward. And in this workflow and in this automation, what I've done is loaded a bunch of public content that Taki has put out there, so I don't believe I'm violating any copyright rules, and put it into a Pinecone vector database. I'll talk about what that is in a minute. And then that's kind of consumed by Google Drive, and then have an AI agent that talks to ChatGPT via Open Router, and I'll talk about what that is in a minute too, and accesses this Pinecone vector store. So what the heck is Pinecone? Well, Pinecone is a way to store information in a vector database. And what we're doing here is really RAG. So RAG is Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's kind of a framework for retrieving information that's stored in a vector database. That's how I think about it. And a vector database is a way to chunk up big, huge pieces of information into smart and concise pieces of data that the RAG system can then access appropriately. Context for this is, what if I put in an entire book? Or what if I put in like a dozen YouTube video transcripts? It's too much for any AI system to have a context window. Context window is just the amount of information that an AI system can consider and really understand at one time. And so putting this into a vector database and using a RAG system to access it is a way that we can have a whole bunch of information that we can talk to. And that's exactly what we're doing. So in N8N, the workflow is we connect to Google Drive, and we have a folder that we're watching. And this folder is just called RAG for N8N, and it's right here. And in this folder, I have a few items. I have a book that I bought and I downloaded. And then I have some other items here that I've not processed yet. So we're going to do that real time. So we're watching this folder, and then we're going to download files from the folder by ID, and we're going to store them in this Pinecone vector database. And so if I go to my Pinecone dashboard, I'll see that we have this index called Talk to My Coach. And it has a whole bunch of items here, right? And this is the chunking that this has done of the big piece of information, which is the book that I wanted to be able to talk to. So essentially we're talking to a book, and in this case, a bunch of YouTube transcripts. So these are the settings, and the namespace of this is post. That's kind of a leftover from another project that I had, but that's right here. Okay, so that's how we are taking the information from what's in the Google Drive folder and stuffing and chunking it and putting it into a vector database. You need an embeddings model, and we're using OpenAI, the text embedding 3 small model. And we need a document loader and a recursive character text splitter. So just copy this, right? All of this will be in the description below. You'll be able to just come over here, import this from a file, and upload the JSON file to recreate exactly this. You just have to connect your Google Drive and your Pinecone index, right? Okay, so this gets the information from this Google Drive folder and chunks it up and sticks it into this index. That's what this is doing. From there, we want to be able to talk to this. And so N8N has a built-in way to chat with, in this case, an agent. And the agent knows that I'm going to be chatting. And so this, like a previous chat I had, is what is the first marketing step I should take in getting new coaching clients? That's the question that everybody has, right? And this agent has access to a model. And here we're using Open Router. Open Router is kind of a switch of AI models. So imagine it's just like a switch, right? You send a request to open router, and you're able to say, hey, use Claude Sonnet 4, or use Google Gemini 2.5 Pro, or use ChatGPT 4.0 or 4.5 or whatever it is now. It's just a way, instead of like, so you could hard code if you were building an application, hey, just go to Open Router, and then in Open Router you can say, choose this model. So you could just kind of hard code this. If you knew you're always going to go with Claude Sonnet 4, just go with Claude Sonnet 4. And then this agent, right? An agent is just kind of a blob that has arms, and the arms that it has are a model in this case, and then knowledge in the form of a Pinecone vector database, right? It has indexed and chunked all of this big, huge piece of information into bits that it can retrieve. And that's what embedding is all about. And so we identified the name, right? And this is just the name of our index here. And we gave it a prompt. Call this tool to access the Taki Moore $1 Million Coach book. Let's say, and related YouTube video transcripts. Cool. And that's it. Okay. So let's run this. Let's save. Execute the workflow. And so what's happening is it's finding new files, because we have new files in this folder over here. This has not been indexed into our Pinecone vector. Okay, so that all worked. It indexed the new stuff there. And so now we can open the chat and chat with it. So one of these YouTube transcripts was switching from one-on-one to group coaching. So let's ask a specific question about that to make sure. I was asking about marketing before. How can I switch from one-on-one to group coaching without losing clients? And you can see what it's doing here. It's talking to the model. It's accessing the Pinecone vector database. It's going back to ChatGPT. And it's going to give us a response here in just a second. So while this is working, you can imagine, instead of this being here, you could set this up as like a WhatsApp chat or a Telegram chat or an email, or it could watch some kind of like Notion system or something. Cool. Okay. So it says, based on Taki Moore's guidance, here's how to successfully transition from one-on-one, right? Key principle, frame it as better for them, not just you. Why group coaching has benefits. The yawn slide hug. Right? It's giving me exactly what I want to know. So, okay. Say, okay, that's great. How about creating marketing messaging that attracts clients? What content should I create and where? Cool. And that's another magnetic messaging. This is exactly what you're talking about. Like how to create marketing messaging that attracts your perfect fit customers. And so you can see it's accessing the Claude Sonnet 4 model, and it's accessing the Pinecone vector database to get this information. Cool. Think of your website as the head of the octopus. Okay, cool. Where to post your content? Everywhere, right? That's what everybody says. It makes a lot of sense. Short form content, actionable, goal-oriented, right? So like going back to the very beginning, it's like, I think there's no replacement, and there probably will never be a replacement for human-to-human coaching, especially in the era of AI. I think we're all going to be craving human connection more than ever, which is why I'm so bullish on coaching. I'm also bullish on AI, and I think those two can exist at the same time, because we can have our human coaching, one-on-one or group, real-time, talking to people or in person. And then we can supplement it with something like this. So Taki, if you're watching, why don't you build a really great version of this so that your clients can talk to you based on all of the content that you have out there? I think that would be really, really helpful, and probably is a supplement for a lot of coaches. You'll have your real-time, in-person or virtual events, and then you'll have a database of all of your content that people can then interact with in between those sessions. So if you want to get this entire workflow and exactly how we did it, Link in the description below. Drop your email in. I'll send it to you. This is day 7 of 100 Days of AI. I hope you're enjoying. If you have any requests for things for me to cover in future videos, please drop a comment in below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, smash the bell, tell a friend about this, and we'll see you tomorrow.